the story of Billy and the Bandit. Woo, woo, Topper. Hello, everybody. My name's Bill Boyd. You probably know me as Hopalong Cassidy. I just rode in from Red Valley where we caught the bandit who robbed the bank at Leadville. Quite a story about that. You see, it all started one day when we were sitting around the bunkhouse listening to Tex and the boys singing a song.
With the I and the yip, 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 we ride for the old bar-end. Chasing all the dogies and strays, there's me and Joe and Ted. With the whoopee-tie-o, get along, little dogies, we ride for the old bar-end. With the whoopee-tie-o, get along, little dogies, there's me and Joe and Ted.
Young Billy Gibbons was sitting over in the corner with a pencil and a magazine. Billy was the son of Pop Gibbons, who owned the ranch. "You're going to get your dad after you again, Billy," said Tex, "if you don't stop marking up those magazines." "Well, all I was doing was drawing mustaches on the faces," said Billy. "Well, that's a bad habit," drawled Tex. "Reminds me of a song."
Down the winding trail to old Santa Fe, where the sage and cactus grow, there's a little ranch in a valley blue, and it's there that we will go.
The next day, Billy rode his little pony Speck into town to pick up the mail. Coming out of the post office, he noticed several posters on the wall, and he just couldn't resist drawing mustaches on the faces. Just as he finished, he felt a hand on his shoulder. It was Sheriff Blake. "Caught you in the act, didn't I, Billy?" "I'm sorry, Mr. Blake," said Billy. "I won't do it again. I promise." "Well, that's fine," said the sheriff. "And just to seal the bargain, here's a nice new dollar bill to put toward that new saddle you want." "Oh, thank you," said Billy, as he hurried off to put the dollar in the bank.
Oh, I like fishing, yes, I like fishing, any old time in the year. I like to drop my line in a mountain stream where the water is nice and clear. 'Cause I like fishing, yes, I like fishing, especially when the big ones bite. I like to go fishing any old time in the morning, noon, or night.
Not long after Billy left the ranch, a mysterious dust-covered rider reined up in front of the bank and got off his horse. Pulling a dirty handkerchief over his face and drawing a six-gun from his belt, he rushed into the bank and shouted to the cashier, "Reach! This is a holdup." Then as the cashier stood with his hands above his head, the bandit scooped all the money from the cage into a sack, backed out of the door, jumped on his horse, and galloped out of town. A posse was rounded up and went off in pursuit, but the bandit outdistanced them and got away. The next day, Billy was riding his little pony Speck out on the range, singing as he rode along.
Speck and I are the best of pals. We get along swell together. He looks so nice with his little white mane and his saddle of fancy leather.
Suddenly, a horseman rode out from behind some trees and blocked his path. "Son," he said, "I'll give you this dollar bill if you'll show me the way to Red Valley." A surprised look came over Billy's face as he took the dollar. He then told the stranger the road to take, and then turning Speck around, he raced toward town as fast as he could go. Rushing up to Sheriff Blake, he cried, "Sheriff, I just saw the man who robbed the bank. He's headed for Red Valley." The sheriff collected a posse, and off they went with Billy's little pony leading the way. As they rode over the hills, the sheriff turned to Billy and said, "This isn't the way to Red Valley, Billy." "I know it isn't, Sheriff," said Billy, "but this is the way I told the bandit to go. I knew if he went this way, he could take the shortcut to Gold Creek and head him off there." "Good boy," said the sheriff. Then the posse spurred their horses into a full gallop and sang this song. Over the hills and plains we ride and ride, defend
fight with all our might. So it's ride, 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 ride 'em boys, united as we go, to keep this country safe and strong, and drive out every foe.
Arriving at Gold Creek, the sheriff and his posse surprised the bandit as he rode up. Covering him, the sheriff cried, "Search him, boys." Then one of his deputies shouted, "Here it is, Sheriff, a sack full of money. I guess this is our man, all right. But this is money I received from selling a carload of cattle," protested the stranger. Billy spoke up. "Didn't you give me $1 for showing you the way to Red Valley?" "Well, yes, I reckon I did, Sonny. Any harm in that?" Then holding out a dollar bill to the sheriff, Billy said, "Look at this dollar bill he gave me, Sheriff." "Well, I'll be jiggered," said the sheriff. "Somebody has drawn a mustache on the picture of George Washington." "That's right," said Billy. "I drew it on there just before I put the dollar in the bank yesterday." And that's how they caught the bandit. Well, got to be going now. If you see Billy, tell him his old friend Bill Boyd, you know, Hop Along Cassidy, said hello. Come along, Topper. So long.